Right then, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be a complete voiceover of me going around charity shops. So this is one of my regulars. I tend to go here at least 2 or 3 times a week, to be honest. Whenever I'm passing through, going from one end to the other, generally speaking, I will just jump in and have a quick look to see what they've got. Every single time I go straight to the toy section. No matter what sort of day I'm having, I go straight to the toys because I've had some very nice, not vintage, but relatively older stuff. So always going through and checking. And I did recognise this robot. I wasn't sure where from. So in a moment, I will put the camera down because I do have a quick Google lens search. And I realise exactly who he is. But he's not worth megabucks. He's worth about 20 quid or so. But he is the robot from Toy Story 3. There's no way, heaven on earth, that I'm going to be missing another Toy Story 3 toy anytime soon. So now it's just a case of really just going through the rest of the bucket and just seeing exactly what's on the shelf. If there's anything there that may tickle my fancy. Generally speaking, if it's in a blind bag or a mixed bag like that, it's worth just having a little look and just to see exactly what there may or may not be in the bag. 9 times out of 10, there won't be anything too good, but then there might be that one toy where you might have to maybe pay a couple of quid for a whole bag, but it will be worth it in the end. And yes, that was me pointing out that I did indeed find the robot. Then there's a load of board games, nothing to shout about as far as I'm aware, but obviously if I did miss anything, let me know down below. That wasn't my back clicking, that was just a seat readjusting. Looking around the toys, looking around the books, DVDs. I don't really tend to pick up DVDs anymore, although I did pick up a box set earlier. Then we have, I remember that, we have the glass paperweight, which still has its barcode on it, but he'll flip it over and look at the price anyway, and then put it back down. There we go, put it back down. No one wants to see that. This was later on in the week. This is a chess set and a wine piece set sort of thing, and I thought it was worth a go at $4.99. Turns out you can actually buy these for merchandise as a part of like a promotional gear. So it's not actually the one that you're seeing on the screen now. The one you're seeing on the screen is very similar because there's no markings on it whatsoever, but unfortunately it's just not quite worth it. Then we go to the toy section, again just sort of scanning through, seeing whether there's anything new on the shelves. Going over to the games, which is normally where I tend to go. We've got Connect Adventures there for I think $2.99. Looks brand new and sealed, but it's obviously not got the barcoded bit on the underside of the cellophane. So in a moment you'll see that I do actually dig out my phone just to attempt to have a quick look online to see whether it should have that or not. But the signal's so bad, it often takes a few minutes just to work out what on earth is going on, and also whether to see whether it's worth picking up for that price. But actually, they're going for around £4 or £5, including free postage, even if they are brand new and sealed. Eventually, it will pop up and you'll be able to see exactly what I was looking for. But you can see, eventually, I'm just talking now for the sake of talking because James is still looking on his phone. Why do I spend so much time on my phone? It's just not worth picking up, James. Just put it back. It's still going to be there on Friday. Just give up, man. But I know what you're trying to do. You're looking for that barcoded bit. It's not there. There we go. Next charity shop. So this is, again, it's another favourite of mine, but it can be on the expensive side. I did actually go there today, and there was 50% off of everything on a hanger. Ended up buying the one item, and you'll see that at the end of the video. But this has got some lovely block colours. It's a fairly decent brand as well. So I thought, well, for £7-8, it's most likely worth picking up. So I eventually do pick it up, but just getting some extra footage for the camera just to draw the video out as long as possible and to make sure that I get those mid-roll ads. But eventually he will pick it up. There we go. Make your decision, mate. There we go. He's happy. He's off. And then going back through the rail just to find out if there's any more clothes that he can put on the death pile and then forget about it for 3 months. Anything else? I think we might actually... No, I think the jeans were last week. Were they last week? I think they might have been. But it's a case of going through and just seeing what brands are there and what the prices are, because the prices tend to fluctuate all over the place. Next up, we have a very squiffy view. I'm obviously researching something. I've got absolutely no idea what. Is it interesting? Oh, it might be trainers, actually. I think these might be Ben Sherman trainers, which I think they're priced at £20 in the shop. And I was trying to find the exact ones online, but again, with Signal being such an issue, I couldn't actually find the exact ones. I mean, £20 is a reasonable price in a charity shops for some brand spanking new. There we go, move the camera, well done. Oh no, these are different shoes. Okay, these are something and something. I can't remember. I only did the haul video a few hours ago. I should really remember. Bromley, I think. Something in Bromley. And there we go. He's now picked up another type of shoe to work out whether that's worth picking up. But I don't think it is. I'm fairly sure that gets put straight back down because they're not going for a particularly great amount online. But he will search anyway. But you can see from that horrible spinning thing in the middle, Signal was just absolutely woeful. And there's actually a leak out the back of this charity shop as well. It started off with 1 bucket at the start of the week. On Friday, it escalated to 3 buckets. So it's obviously getting worse from the flats upstairs. But it's quite a nice brogue. I think they're fairly high tops from memory. Can't quite see because the camera's not quite picking it up enough. Actually watching this back and talking at the same time makes me realise how much I'm actually not showing you. So I'll try and do slightly better next week. But I did pick them up. I think they were about £8 and they should be looking at around £30 or so, but you'll see that properly in the haul at the very end. Looking at some books, nothing too special. Going over to the toys, there can be some very good toys here and also some very expensive ones. There was some Armed Forces ones last week, but they were £10 to £20 for each of them and they weren't complete. Then there's a whole box of Lego and army soldiers and everything else, but you can see that the Lego is not official Lego. And what else are we looking at? Or are you just panning for the sake of panning? I think I'm just panning for the sake of panning. There we go, there's a bucket. Do I drop something in it this time? Or was it last time? I might not have got it on camera. But I know definitely at some point I have dropped a soft toy in that bucket. Looking for a flat Eric, that would be quite nice. I've got one, but he's staying with me for the time being. And Cola Flipper does have first dibs if I ever choose to get rid of him. Going back to the clothes. What have we seen? Now we're going to the Ben Shermans. Okay. See, they're £17.95. I mean, they are brand new and sealed. Well, not sealed, but they are brand new with the box. I think I ended up searching this as well. It's quite nice. I think they wanted £4 for it, but that's pretty much the going rate online, unfortunately. But nevertheless, James will continue to look just in case it is worth flipping. With that horrible spinny avatar going round and round. Come on in. Just all we've got to do, I think this actually goes on for quite a bit. I might have to cut this little section out because it takes absolutely ages and it's really not worth picking. Okay, so I'm back in the room. This is another little favourite of mine. I've picked up quite a few Harry Potter books here. They tend to do a set price for hardbacks and a set price for the paperbacks unless they are in some sort of a box set. So this is a small Baymax figure, which I think, you know, might be worth £1 million. And at one point, I actually thought it was worth about 30 quid until I realised that there was another one for sale for about £10. So it's part and parcel of, unfortunately, just being in a charity shop as and when. And you think, oh, yeah, it's a really good pickup. Don't you, James? You think it's a really good pickup. And you realise it's not because no one's actually sold it for that price. But eventually, he will put it back onto the shelf and continue to look because there are 1 or 2 Power Rangers just sitting above. And you can see there's 2 just in shot, and there's another 2 or 3 pairs of legs just sitting there dangling, not really doing much for £1 a piece. It's strange to think that the Baymax was, I think, £3, and then the Power Rangers were only £1 a piece. So I don't know if they do it on the size of the figure, or whether they do just sort of make it up as they go along. It seems absolutely bizarre. There we go. He puts it back, and then look up, James. There's a load of Power Rangers figures and they're only £1 each. Just look up. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. He's seen them. He's put them in. He knows where they're from. They are SPDs off the top of my head. There is not a full set, unfortunately, but there is enough to warrant picking them up throwing them into a bag, and then hopefully trying to complete the set when the car boots start properly next year. So there is a green Ranger and a red Ranger. Pick up the blue one. There we go. God, I do everything so slowly. Just bloody pick them up and throw them in your bag and pay for them and get out of there. The only downside with this charity shop is the parking can be really, really bad. And not only just the prices can be all over the place, as I've just said, but the parking is absolutely terrible. It's right next to a couple of other shops, and they don't really specify who can park where, apart from one of the builders merchants next door. So you quite often find everyone from the builders merchants just going in the wrong parking spaces. There's a nice troll doll. This one may have actually been worth picking up. In hindsight, I most likely should have at least done a quick lens search. You see is it Lotso from Toy Story? He might be the one that smells of strawberries. I think at one point they were worth a few quid. I don't think they are anymore, unfortunately. So he was left behind for someone else to hopefully give him a second home. Then there is that a Transformers or maybe another Power Ranger? I can't quite remember or see from this small image that I'm looking at. Then there's some clothes. This is where I bought the Barber top last week. Actually went to go and see whether it would fit my old man or not, but it was an XXL and it was just absolutely swallowing him. And you can see that the Harry Potter paperbacks are still there. They've been there for at least 2 weeks now. This may be the third week that I've seen them there. They are up for £20 and they go for about that price online as well, maybe 30, so not really worth picking up. Then going through the clothes, just having a quick look for brands and anything that feels like it would be quality, which sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. I don't think I actually pick up anything. You can see that I think there's a Paul and Shark t-shirt. It's not very desirable, but it looks like it's straight from TK Maxx, and that's been there for at least a week as well now. But just panning over, looking at the rest of the gear, going back over to the toys, just worried that he may have missed something. Back over, nope. Anything? Nope. I think I might actually knock something on the floor here. I think I do from memory. Yes, I think I look at the Harry Potter books and then I drop one on the floor. There you go. What an idiot. So just seeing what the prices were. I mean, they're quite beaten up, at least with the hardbacks. They tend to have a lot longer shelf life on them. They tend to be a lot more durable and last a lot longer. And here we are looking at the games in the exact same shop. This is the point now where it starts to annoy me, because they're asking for some fairly hefty prices and there's not really a great amount of room for them to get new stock out. So I don't mind them asking for new prices, but it gets a little bit annoying when they can't fit any more up there and they're not actually putting any more stock on the shelves. This is from today. This is a local of mine. Again, it can be on the expensive side, but on today being Black Friday, everything on a rail was actually half price. So eventually I will go back and pick up that tobacco coloured top, and I paid £3 for it. And it is brand new with tags. It was retailing at £30, and then on the sticker it was reduced to 15. So I think I've now put it on for 25 because it is good quality, and I do think it would go for 25 quid. But just again, scouting through, seeing if there's anything new that's come out since I was last here. I think those Ben Sherman shoes are still there as well. To us, I can't quite remember. There's a bundle of ties as well. I did go through that off camera. Nothing really, anything exciting there at all, to be honest. And just going through, not really doing a great deal. There's actually someone to the right of me at some point. I think this is the point where he goes, so I can actually move on to the coats and just double check to see what's going on there. Small repositioning of the camera, and yeah, trying to find the brands, which can be easier said than done. I think that's not New Look. I think it might be Zara Man or something like that, which is why I didn't pick it up and I just put it back. Then checking again, because there's a couple of shirts in there mixed with the coats. Trying to find something that I can just throw on the death pile. But I don't think there is anything today. I've actually done a little bit of listing today. I've gone through and done a few items. Done 2 or 3 items of clothing. So even though I am very bad at listing clothing, I did 2 items today. and they're already up in the loft and stored away. And there we go, saw some games. Monkey Island is quite a good title, however there was no manual. I don't know if I recorded myself actually opening up the game to check the condition, but I'm fairly sure there's no manual and the disc is quite scratched. I ended up picking up the other two Xbox 360 games, which I believe was Saints Row 2 and Garden Warfare, and they were £1 each. So just going through, checking once again. I don't think I'll pick anything up here. I'll be very surprised if I do. DVDs, again, don't really tend to pick up DVDs unless they're box sets anymore. But you'll see that there was a box set that was picked up at some point, and you'll see that in the haul later. It's just a point where I open it. There we go. So they've got some wear to them, but they are salvageable. A quick clean and they'll be fine. Monkey Island, there we go. There's no manual, and the disc is quite scratched. I mean, at least they're only asking £1, whereas at some point, I think they were asking £4-5 per game, and they were just sitting there for months and months and months not being touched. This is in the centre of town. So I actually did a job in the middle of town, and I had some extra time on my parking. So I went to a British Heart Foundation, and the prices were astronomical. I very rarely go into town for charity shopping because obviously I would presume their business rates, even though they are discounted, they're still a lot bigger than what they are out of town, and they charge ridiculous prices. So once in a blue moon, I will venture into town and just have a quick look. But I don't know if I show you any of the prices. I think there's a Tommy Hilfiger for £15. I think I have a quick look at this. It's a Ryder Cup fleece. I think they wanted a tenner for it. I can't quite see it on my screen, but I think they wanted £10 for it. And I did have a quick look online, but I couldn't find anything whatsoever. Let's make my screen a little bit bigger so I can actually see what's going on. So yeah, that's a Glen Eagles fleece, Ryder Cup 2014, but I couldn't find anything online. So I might well regret not buying that. I'm not too sure. If anyone has had one before or knows roughly what it's worth, please do let me know. Back into, again, one of my favourites. This was a good pickup. I've not priced these up yet, but my God, between £1 and £1.50 each. If it was a doll on their own, they were £1. If they had accessories on them, and look, that's just screaming girl power. £1.50 if they had clothing on. And I think I go through and check the dates on at least one or two of them. I think the Cindy was 2000s, maybe 1990s, and then a lot of the Barbies had 1966 on them, which I don't know if that was just standard, because they look like they're in far too good condition for the potential age of them. So I'm gonna have to double check and make sure that they weren't just all printed with 1966 on them up until a certain point. But they, yeah, for £1 each, absolute bargain. Here I am just trying to find again another date inside the clothing, but again that label there that said Barbie, I would presume there may be a way of dating that, because I would presume that again that during different times and different releases they must have changed that label. So if I can put a date on the accessories as well, it would only help. We've got some roses on another one, again just checking the dates, and that says 1966. At this point, I think I just sort of gave up. I thought, yeah, I was going to buy everything. So there's one there with really long hair. I don't know if that's supposed to be Rapunzel, maybe. Again, there's another date on the back of the head there, but it's slightly different, that one. But either way, I will just end up picking up absolutely every single one of them. Unfortunately, I actually left my phone and my wallet in the van, so I had to go back to the van and pick everything up and then come back. And you see, just as I stand up, did you see that in the top right there? There's a Brother printer, but I've not quite noticed that yet. I'm still concentrating on the toys. So that was more of a bag of rocks than toys. It was a lot of ornaments in there. They look like Crazy Bones that I used to have, but they're the newer version. Not quite as exciting as I thought, unfortunately. Then there's a doll that was there at the start of the week. It's a big book of stuff, loads of baby bits that can all stay there. Then just pan round. There you go. You see brother and a nice little tap on the printer because you know it's a good brand. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of cleaning because of all of the sticker residue on the side. But for £10, we should be looking at least, with the labels as well, possibly 30, 40, maybe even £50. I've got to double check it. There's only one other one online, and generally speaking, brother label writers don't come out very often. Right then, it is time for the haul. In no particular order, I've got 2 bail arm crates full of rubbish and some in my rucksack as well. So I'm going to pull out as we go and just tell you what I paid for it. Not going to be able to tell you exactly what it's worth, unfortunately. Okay, picked these up today. Saints Row 2, £1. Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, £1. This was also from today. This was 30 quid brand new, Twisted Soul knitwear, brand new with tags. It was supposed to be £6. However, it was 50% off anything that's on a rail. So paid 3 quid. I reckon I'll be able to get £20 quite bloody easily. And it's actually really nice and soft. If it was, actually, I don't mind the colour. But no, it's got to go. So that's going to go in the pile of clothes that I really need to list. Anything else? We have Royal Family, $2.99, brand new and sealed. I saw these yesterday. There was 2 of them. One of them had already sold in a charity shop. I didn't have a signal in a charity shop at the time. Checked it later on. They're going for about £20, £25. Should have bought both of them, but I managed to get one. Yeah, hopefully £3 into about 20. Okay, now we're going into the crates. This was bought today. It is a scene. It is by Regency Fine Arts, and it is the Light Up Toy Shop. Paid £4.50. Should be able to get about £20 to £30 back for it. Pat tested, got a bulb, etc, etc. Good to go. Next up, we have a pair of shoes. When did I buy these? These are by Russell and Bromley. I paid £8. I think someone just moved. I think about 30 quid maybe. But you got the nice stitching on the bottom of the feet. Nice, plain. I like them. In fact, they might even be my size. So I'm gonna have to put them on quickly and just. Oh, they're not bad. They're not bad. They're a bit loose around the ankle for me, but they're not bad at all. Yeah, so they were 8 quid. Put them in a pile. Same place, got 2 of these bags. They are pretty much brand new. Travel Gear by Eagle Creek. £2.50 each. There's got to be a few quid in them. There's got to be. I'm sure I found one similar by the same company, but it wasn't as netted as this. So I'm going off of the chances that it's worth a couple of quid. Bag of toys, I paid £1.50. The reason why I picked this up specifically because this guy did look familiar. He is my Wheezy for this week. This is from Toy Story 3. He's worth around £30 on his own. So to get him, I'm glad that I recognised it because I would have been absolutely mullered in the comments for another year. We've also got another Power Rangers to go into the Power Rangers pile, which is currently that bag. And then random toys. So there's an early learning centre car. Daughter can have that. Daughter can have that. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Because they're not worth doing individually. My daughter can have them. This jacket by Christopher Dawes. Exclusive country wear. Made in England. 42 on the chest. Paid £8.99. Quite nice. It's alright. I think it was about 30, 40 quid when I looked at it. Put that in a pile of clothes that I really need to list. And then, I bought some Skechers. No, not Skechers, Heelys. With a box. But not only that, they look like they've never been used. I paid a £5, and it does say new size 1. I reckon it's about 30 quid back on these. You can see they are in fantastic condition. There is no wear on the bottom of the feet whatsoever. The heel wheel is in good condition. Everything about it is as it should be. It's got the keys, it's got everything. We should be good to go. Should be hopefully 5 into about 30. Put that in that pile. That's it from that cage. Power Rangers, these are £1 each. So this is SPD, which I've got some morphers of those. So you've got Red Ranger, green, red, blue. Is that it? I thought there was more. I was going to keep on going. Got a Brother QL 500, paid a tenner. I've got no idea what it's worth. By the looks of it, it does some half decent sized labels. It does actually come with a load of labels, but they're very, very small. They're just for addresses, not for QR codes and barcodes, that sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully 50 quid adds an absolute guess. Then the Barbies, I bought these today and they're all over the place on dates. This is 19, that can't be right. I keep on looking at it and get confused. That says 1966. I was hoping there'd be some sort of evidence on the clothing as well, but it just says genuine Barbie. So this one is, oh, I might get done for nudity. 1996. It just says made in China, but she does look somewhat familiar. One of those. This is a Cindy, 1996. Bit floppy, that one. This one is, that looks a bit more modern. Yeah, this one's got a thing on the back. 2000, it says batch number 2007. So I don't know what year that is, but the fact that there's, it looks newer. It just looks newer. 1966. 1966 with very long hair, possibly a Rapunzel. We also have this one with a rose dress, 1966. Wild hair, crimped hair, I would have guessed 2000s. No, that says 1966 as well. That can't be 1966. That can't be. I don't know. I'm not having that. And that's 1966. That can't be. I might just put it as an auction to get rid of them. 2 more Power Rangers. Another red one and another blue one. I bought this chess set. Absolute dud. It's not worth anything at all. It's a chess and wine thing. You can buy these quite easily, and they're actually like a promotional thing. So you would normally put your logo either up here or on the actual chess piece itself somewhere. So I paid $4.99. I very much doubt I'll be able to break even on that, but you live and learn. I was hoping Christmas present maybe, because there's no actual sign writing from any companies. I'm hoping I can sell it, but these are very, very common and they're not worth a lot of money at all. Okay, and then the last item, well, last 2 items, is it 1 or 2? It's 1. I have to get up a little bit for this one. This is by Burton. It's Dry Ride, paid £7.50. It is absolutely horrendous. My apologies for my nipples just then. But yeah, that's horrific. I don't know, 20, 30 quid maybe. It's going to be thrown onto the pile of clothes. I really need to sort. It's quite early on Friday, so I might try and get this edited and then do some listing. I say that I'm going to do the easy stuff, which is going to be the stock image stuff, which is going to be the Heelys, the video games, etc. But all in all, somewhat of a good week. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Au revoir.